Hi all. In today's video, I will talk about how to recognize deflection opportunities and decoy your opponent's pieces. A deflection is basically a move in which you keep one of your pieces on a square where it can be captured. In fact, you invite a capture. And the aim of this is to weaken certain squares or pick up material, or sometimes create a mate threat. I will show you this tactic with some examples. In this position, it's white to play. Black is attacking white's rook on d2 with his knight and rook, so it's being attacked twice and defended only once by the king on c1. However, black's back rank is quite weak. If black's queen were deflected from the protection of the d8 rook, white would be able to mate the black king with rook captures rook. Thus, black plays queen f7 to deflect the black queen. Queen captures queen is not possible because of the back rank mate. Note that black's queen cannot protect both the back rank and the knight, so eventually the knight falls. Here's another problem involving a weak back rank. It's white to play. Just as in the previous example, black's queen defends the f8 rook. If it were deflected, white would play rook captures rook mate. Hence, white plays queen e5, forcing black to sacrifice his queen, because if queen captures queen, then rook captures rook will be mate. Black has to be content with rook captures rook and allow his queen to be captured. Here it is black to play. Can you spot black's next move? Black simply takes on e1, forcing white's a1 rook to recapture. Now white's a3 knight is loose, so black wastes no time in playing rook captures knight. It is to be observed that black cannot start with rook captures knight, because then white will take black's rook on e1, and after knight captures rook, white will be able to play rook captures rook, winning the exchange. Have a look at this position. It's white's turn. Looking at black's pieces, we find that his b7 bishop is loose. Also, his back rank is defended only by his queen. Can white attack both the black queen and the loose bishop? Pause the video and see if you can find white's next move. Hope you came up with queen b4. Other deflecting moves such as queen c5 and queen f4 don't attack the bishop. And now black's queen is forced to defend the back rank. And white wins the bishop. What would you play here as white? You can pause the video and see if you can find white's next move. White has a very strong move, which is rook c8. This pins the black queen to its king, so it has to capture white's rook. After this, knight e7 check just wins the queen. To find such a sequence, it is important to see that knight e7 checks the king, and if the queen were on d5 or c8, it would fork the king and queen. There's no way to force the queen to d5, but since the rook is on the c-file, rook c8 forces it to c8, and then we have the perfect setup for the knight fork. In this position, it is white to play. Notice that black's bishop on g7 is pinned. If it moves, white will be able to play rook g8, which is mate. Also, black's d6 pawn is pinned to its queen. If it moves, white's rook will be able to take the black queen. Now this means that the e5 pawn is undefended, and white can simply take it with his knight. So he plays knight captures e5, since both its defenders are not really able to defend e5. This move forks black's queen and rook. Black will have to give up one of them. His best try is to take white's knight with his pawn, after which rook captures queen and then rook captures rook. In the end, black has a rook and knight for a queen and pawn, so black is down by 2 points of material. It's worth mentioning that saving the queen is not as good. For example, queen a6 would result in knight captures rook, and this time black is down by 5 points of material. Here again, it's white to play. If white is able to deflect black's rook off the back rank, black's queen will be loose, and white will be able to just capture it. It is tempting to start with queen captures queen straight away, so that after the rook recaptures, knight f7 forks the black king and rook. However, if knight f7 is played first, black will have to recapture with his rook. And now, queen captures queen, and white is much better. Check out this position. It's white's turn. This is a very simple position, so I'll go straight into the solution. White plays knight f6, check. It forks the black queen and king. If g7 captures knight, then rook g1 pins the queen to the king. After all the exchanges, white comes ahead with the extra pawn. Black's pawn on the f-file are doubled, so white should be able to win from here. This is quite an interesting position. Pause the video and see if you can find white's best shot. Okay, white plays a knight fork, knight h7. The purpose of this move is to deflect the king to h7. If black decides to capture on h7, he'll get mated in 2 moves. Can you see the continuation for white? White has a brilliant move here, which is queen h5, check, exploiting the pin on the g6 pawn. After king g7, queen h7 is mate. Hence, black should have instead played queen f7 instead of capturing on h7. In that variation, black would just be down 2 points of material.